Let's design this menu page. I'm going to have some text up the top, followed by menu items underneath. I'm going to click the text icon, click once and type menu in capitals, and then deselect by just clicking here. With it highlighted, I'm going to position it and go down to the sizing and just hover over 64 looks good. Reposition that. I'm also going to go down to the fill and sample this brown we've been using from the logo. Excellent. Now I'm going to have an image of the cookie and the name of the cookie there. For this, I'm going to put a rectangle, and that's going to be where I'm going to drop the cookie shape in. That looks like about good just there. And then some text beside it. And I'm just going to type menu item, because this is going to change for the different menu items. I'm just making a component here similar to the navigation. So I'm going to deselect and then get a better size, probably 36 for this one. That will do for now. We could change it later if the name's too big. That's good for now. I'm going to select both of those and right click and group those, group selection. Once it's grouped over here, I'm going to name that menu item actually. Double click that, menu item. And the reason I'm calling it that is I'm going to turn it into a component. With the 4 diamonds, create component, and that way we can make copies of that and easily change them, make them look the same. Now you can go assets like we did before and insert instances, but because it's a component, Figma is pretty good, and you can even right click copy and then right click paste, and you'll see we've got a component but also just an instance. So it doesn't copy the component, it makes an instance of it, which is perfect. But what I'm going to do here, and I just hovered up until I've got a decent distance here, or similar distance to from the menu. And if I hold Option and drag this down, I can in real time look at the spacing. I can also hold Shift and it will go straight down. But I had 36 pixels in between each. That looks pretty good. I might just shift them all up. Now I can select all of these, and I can actually use my up arrow key just to space it out by eye. I was just looking at this and this. With the arrow key, it's another thing you can do. What I'm going to do now is drop the cookies in these boxes here. So if I click the menu, image, I'm actually going to select all the flavors I want. So I'm going to hold Command or Control on Windows, and I've got my choc chip, double choc, red velvet, white choc, open, and now I've got my little preview, but you can see I've got a 4 because I've got 4 images loaded ready to go. Now if I click on this one, this is a component, so it's going to fill out all of them, which is fine, but these instances can be changed. So if I click this one now, that's my red velvet. Now I've got 2 more, and you can see they're all the same size, they're positioned nicely, and that looks good. I don't like the black and the white background separation, but we will change that in a bit. Now with the menu items, I'm going to double click and double click again and change this to white choc. Now they all changed, but these instances can also be changed. So you see this one will not. And I'm going to type out these names. So I'm going to call this one the double choc and this one choc chip. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Now what I want to do, I don't like how this is black and this is white. So I'm going to make it so all you can see is just the flavors of the cookie and not the edges. So the backgrounds are gone. I'm definitely going to do that on my instance, on my component, sorry. So I'm going to find the one that has the 4 diamonds. It is the top one. And on that one, I'm going to edit and I'm going to draw an ellipse on top here. So an ellipse is a circle or an oval with our other shapes. And I'm going to draw it over the top. And you can see it on the other one's previewing, which is perfect. So I can make sure it's going to work. Excellent. Now I'm going to click on that shape and I'm going to go up the top here, ellipse selected, and there's an icon here that says user's mask. That's going to make it so only everything inside where this gray circle is visible. So I'm going to click that. And now over here, nothing's happened, because what's happened, it says the ellipse is masking nothing above it with this icon here. So if I now drag that down below the white choc, you can see the white choc is gone. And then if I drag it down again, That's what I want there. But now my white chalk text is missing. That's because this circle is masking everything above it. So what I've got to do now is get that white chalk text and drag it below my circle, and everything above that ellipse is now inside of it, which is just the white chalk image on that one. And in turn, the other instances as well, they all look pretty good now. Let's say this gap is too big. I want to go to my component and edit that. I might double click it, and you can see if I shift this one in with my arrow keys, they are all moving in. And this is why we use components.